Shimura Tae. If not for the existence of Tama, I would easily call her the heart of Gintama. That said, she is still one of the most pivotal characters to the Gintama series, even if that doesn't appear to be the case on first glance. If you find yourself entertained at any point during the video, then consider liking, subscribing and ringing that bell, as I cannot explain to you how much such a small action can do for this channel. Also, if you want to support this channel further, consider pledging to my Patreon. Anyway, on with the video. Tae is one of the first characters we ever meet in the Gintama series, and as the older sister of Shinpachi, the triagonist of the story, she is obviously very much a major player in the Gintama story. However, her actual physical role in the story is honestly quite minor when compared to the impact she has on the story. But before we get talking about the overall implications of her character on the story, let's start with her backstory. Tae grew up as the oldest child of Shimura Ken in their family dojo, Kodokan. However, her father died when she was still young. Without a mother either, the job of supporting the family and raising Shinpachi was thrust upon Tae without warning, and so from a young age she was forced to step up. Which is why when we first meet her in the story, we see her riddled with debt and working all the time, as she has responsibilities to shoulder her father's debt, to revive her father's dojo, and to raise her brother. It would have been understandable if she ran away from these burdens, that she tried to get away from them and leave the debt and the dojo with her dead father. But Tae isn't such a person, and she believes that a child does not need a reason to protect what its parents once loved. Tae does all this, takes on all these burdens out of nothing but love, as love is really one of the main concepts that ties her entire character together. She loved her father and so won't let his love, the dojo, die along with him. She loves her brother so won't let him grow up devoid of love and so works as hard as she can to support him. Another key part of her character, informed by her responsibilities from a young age, is Tae's desire to get things done herself. She's blatant and prompt with her actions, shown by how she beats up the bullies who made fun of Kyubei and how she beats up Kondo on sight due to her disgust of his stalking tendencies. She takes actions that line up with what she believes in. She does everything in the name of her heart and her ideals. Tae, despite her age, is a very much mature and well put together person, and this is of course due to how from such a young age she was burdened with so many things and had to raise another. And in a way you can even say her tendency to act on emotion, to wear her heart on her sleeve, and make rash and blatant actions is also a side effect of this. As a child doesn't think about the consequences, they do what they want, and Tae, even after growing up, has still kept this tendency a tad, as well. When she first started working and first started acting this way to people, she was still a child, and even after growing up her approach has not changed. Tae, due to her childhood, then grew up faster than most, but did so while keeping her heart on her sleeve and while staying true to her ideals of love, and as such has ended up as the caring, strong, motivated and blatant character we all know and love. And although it's very much emphasised in the series that Tae and Shinpachi didn't have anyone but themselves growing up, there was one other person by their side, at least for a short while, and that's Obi-Wan Kenobi, Obi Hajime. Obi was the former chief coach of the Kodokan Dojo, and acted very much as a big brother figure to both Shinpachi and Tae. However, he was also the first person Tae fell in love with, and was the person to teach Tae some of the most important lessons she ever learned, those being that no matter the situation, you should smile. As tears are a handy way of washing away troubling and sad feelings, but they're always painful memories that should never be washed away. So in order to keep those memories, no matter how sad they are, sometimes you just need to smile and laugh with everybody else. And I think it's very much obvious that Tae took this message to heart. As well, no matter what, she's always smiling, and only in the most dire and sad of times do we ever see Tae shed a tear or show any kind of sorrow, as she is truly strong in both body and heart. However, when she was still young, Obi, her first love and the person who taught her such an important lesson, seemingly died and left her with the same painful memories he had spoken of. And so to make sure her memories of him, no matter how sad, never left her, she smiled, and she kept doing so ever since. Tae is very much a person who will happily sacrifice themselves for others, shown by how she's willing to wear skimpy clothes for the sake of her brother and their financial safety, but at the same time hates when others do the same for her, best shown by how heartbroken she is that Kyubei loses an eye protecting her, making it up to her by promising to marry her, as once again she is happy to sacrifice her own body and self. As well, Tae is a really caring person, and even if she gets violent at times and speaks her mind, it's usually done out of love, as she truly loves those she calls friends, and will try to help them even if in the end her help is more detrimental than helpful, a great example being her cooking. The stuff is lethal and will kill you if you eat it, but Tae only ever wants to do it out of love, as she doesn't want to see her friends and family go hungry, and so wants to make them happy by feeding them yummy food. even if unbeknownst to her, her cooking is classed as a chemical weapon. Take her and Gintoki's relationship. Now, I personally don't get too involved with the shipping community of the Gintama fanbase, so please don't be angry at me, those of you that are, but I personally don't think there is anything romantic about their relationship, but there is still love, and I think Tae really cares for Gintoki, as he is the person who taught her brother the important lessons in life and made him smile, just like Obi had done for her. And like I've said a lot, she wears her heart on her sleeve, close to the surface for all to see, and so during the Gintama arc, who is the first person to not hate Gintoki and to remember him? It's the person who wears their heart out in the open, it is Tae. Even if she believed he had hurt Tama, her feelings didn't lie, and so of course the person most open with their feelings was of course the first to recognise they had been tampered with. As she loves Gintoki as her precious friend, in the same way she loves Kyubei not as a man or a woman, but as Yagyu Kyubei, her friend. Even Kondo the gorilla that has stalked her for several hundred episodes is someone she still cares for, someone she still loves as a friend. As Tae really does love the people she loves, and so for that reason really hates those that hurt the people she loves. Which may in fact be the source of her immense strength, as it's also the reason that despite being a non-combatant, she's always present for the big fights, even tagging along for the farewell Shinsengumi arc for no other reason that her friend Kondo is there, and that she needs to give him her support. And although she isn't much of a fighter, that doesn't mean she isn't also a leader. As Tae is not just the oldest child of the Shimura household, she is also one of the Kabuki district's 4 divas. During the 4 divas arc, Tae showed herself to be adept at leading, but more importantly was shown to understand the Kabuki district and its residents. It was once again her heart that was most important, leading her to replace Kujaku Hime Kade, the Peacock Princess Kada, as one of the Kabuki district's 4 divas. And honestly, out of the current 4 divas, Azumi, Kurigoma, Gintoki and of course herself, I honestly think she is the one who understands the Kabuki district and its people the very best. And besides her heart, she also has muscles, as Tae unironically might be one of the physically strongest characters in the entire series, and I love it. Kagura, who remember is a Yato, arguably the strongest race in the universe, immediately calls her boss when she first saw her, as she is just that impressive. And this speaks to another amazing aspect of her character, one that also applies to most of Gintama's female cast. That being that she isn't just feminine, she can be kind and caring but also monstrously strong. As a woman doesn't need to be defined by just grace and submissiveness, they can also be outspoken and stronger than any man, and that is what Tae shows. She is both a mix of femininity and monstrous strength. Best shown by how when she's at the horror park, despite being probably the most dangerous thing in that entire park, she's still totally afraid. Or how when the underwear thief shows up, she doesn't just scream and let Gintoki deal with it, no, she deals with it herself while also crushing Gintoki's skull in the process. As a woman, it's just that, a woman. It's a title and that's it. There's no rules to being a woman, no criteria you have to fill. As a woman can be and act however they want, and Tae shows that bright as day. One of the few criticisms I've heard about Tae as a character is that she's overly violent, and although yes that is also true for like 99% of Gintama's cast, I think this more comes down to why Tae exercises violence. She does so when people don't do what she wants or don't see things the way she does. In other words, she uses violence to express her disagreement with people, and although violence is not really an acceptable way to convey these feelings, I think this again goes back to her childhood. As said before, she started working as a child and had to grow up fast, but even so she never grew out of her childish habit of speaking blatantly and doing things without thought of the consequences or the situation. This obviously can be used to explain her violent outbursts in the modern day, but I also think another key reason comes down to the idea of strength. Tae lost her parents at a young age and so needed to be strong to survive. She looked up to Obi for his strength and felt awful inside when Kyubei was hurt because neither of them had the necessary strength. So no wonder Tae placed value on strength. And so now she has it, she exercises it, as she saw firsthand what a lack of strength leads to, so came to associate using strength without restraint with protecting her friends, as before, when she lacked strength, her friends were hurt instead. And so Tae, in an attempt to use her strength to help people, ends up using it when it's not necessary, and ends up hurting her friends, as with great power comes great responsibility. And this also then ties back to what I said earlier about how she often hurts people while trying to help them. But what is Tae's overall purpose in the story that I've alluded to already? Well, as I keep saying, it is to be the heart of Gintama. Tae symbolises in my mind all the core aspects of Gintama, all neatly wrapped up into one character. She goes through hard times but always smiles, ready for the light to return. She fights to protect what she cares for. She doesn't care what others say and always follows her heart. She is herself and no one else. She doesn't care what others in society says and does what she wants and is who she wants to be. as there's a good reason that in the final battle, as Shoyo pushes the Altana back down into the earth, that the person to give Gintoki a hand, to push him towards his master, is Tae. As Tae is the heart of Gintama, the story began with Gintoki saving her, no, just giving her a helping hand, and ended with her giving him a helping hand in tow. And the most powerful part of this entire sequence is that Tae doesn't help him by giving him any kind words like a typical female character in shonen. No, she frickin' yeets him. No words, just actions. She uses her monstrous brute strength, not her sappy feminine words, as Tae isn't your average shonen heroine. Hell no, she is a gorilla girl, and in order to help her friend, to protect those she cares for, and to follow her heart, she throws him with her strength, no, with all her heart. Like all of Gintama's cast, she is just a person living the life she wants to live, a person who smiles through the hard times, never letting them drag her down, and smiling even harder in the moments that really make her happy. She is the type of woman that Japanese society at the time would find vulgar and unacceptable, strong-willed and blatant, but she doesn't care, and she will be herself and do what her heart tells her to, without even a second thought. Even though marrying Kondo straight away would have gotten rid of all her financial difficulties and helped her to restore her dojo, she never did, as that wasn't what her heart was telling her to do at the time. She is the definition of a strong independent woman who don't need no man, but even so she can still be vulnerable and still can rely on others. As Shimura Tae is one of the genuinely kindest and most heartfelt characters in the entire Gintama cast, and without her the show just wouldn't be the same. Comment of the week comes from Shaman Lord 1234, and thank you, I'm so glad you like my video so much. If you are interested in my literary endeavours, then why not check out my books Gang, Fluid Justice and People of Fate Volume 1, available at Amazon.com. And if you want to help to support this channel, consider pledging to my Patreon, where for as little as £2.75 a month, you can get your name at the end of the video, like Hikari Desu. So with all that said and done, I've been Seth the Sin, the Deadly Sin of Geek, and I'm signing out. Stay safe, everyone.